Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and the other day the Washington Commanders signed cornerback Channing Stribling and also released cornerbacks Nigel Hill and Devin Taylor. So we're going to talk about that today. Does Channing Stribling have a chance to make the roster? We'll also go over some of his background information, and I'll show you guys some of his highlights. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. We're so close to 8,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Now let's get right into it. And sorry if you guys hear any background noise. I'm on vacation and it's pretty noisy here, but let's go get right into it. So I made a video the other day about DeJuan Neal, but some of you guys were asking about Channing Stribling, who had a lot more production last year. So we're going to get right into it. So the Washington Commanders a few days ago on July 14th signed cornerback Channing Stribling. And let's get into some of background, on him. So he played, in the USFL and, for the Philadelphia Stars, and he had a really, really good season for the Philadelphia Stars. Had 7 interceptions, 16 tackles, 11 pass deflections, and a sack in the 2022 season. I believe those 7 interceptions led all players. So he was really, really solid. Had a lot more production than DeJuan Neal, who the Washington Commanders also signed, who I believe also played in the XFL as well as the USFL. So, if anyone has probably like a better shot out of those two to make the roster or maybe make the practice squad, it's Channing Stribling. But again, these guys, I really don't think they have much of a shot to make the roster, and they have a shot definitely to make the practice squad. And I guess the cornerback depth isn't great, so they have an outside shot of making the roster, but I think it's very, very low. And like I said earlier in the video, they released Nigel Hill, who I believe was an undrafted free agent out of Michigan. I can't remember for sure, maybe like Delaware or something. And then Devin Taylor also released him, not sure if he was an undrafted free agent as well. So really nothing major at all. And some more information on Channing Stribling right here. So he had more experience in professional football players than any other player in the country. After playing at Michigan, Stribling bounced around the NFL with the Browns, Colts, 49ers, and Chargers. He's played in the AAF, XFL, CFL, and USFL, and he was drafted into the Spring League. If nothing else, Stribling probably has a great jersey collection. Stribling was excellent for the Stars this season, leading the USFL with 7 interceptions, and he's already 27 years old. So he has NFL experience in terms of like going into camps and stuff, but I don't believe he's ever made an actual roster. Don't know about a practice squad either. So he really hasn't done much yet in the NFL. He hasn't done anything besides get into their spring stuff, OTAs, minicamp, and maybe some training camps, but he hasn't actually made a roster. So again, it's going to be hard for him to do it, but he has a lot of experience. So like if I had to bet on one of these guys, Channing Stribling or DeJuan Neal, I would probably give the edge to Channing Stribling. And let's see some like kind of measurables for him. 6'1", 188 pounds, and it has a 4.6 40-yard dash, 5 reps on the bench press, 31.5-inch vertical leap, and then you guys can see some of the other stuff. So the athletics definitely don't jump off, the charts. Not great at all. 4.6 is probably a little bit below average. 5 bench press reps, even for a corner, that's very low. And then vertical leap is very low for a corner as well. Usually you want to be at 35 plus minimum, and he's at 31.5. But we'll see what he does. He's 27 years old, so like this is one of his last chances. I mean, it's going to be hard for him to make a roster, but who knows? This guy produced at a very high level last year, even though it was at, in a lower level of football in the USFL. Like there's still some really solid players there, and to have 7 interceptions is very, very solid. And, if he can translate that to this year, in camp and stuff, he has a shot to make the practice squad and, maybe a chance to be that last corner on the roster if he is good on special teams. Like really, out of these guys, it's the only chance they have of making the roster, the last cornerback, is if they're good on special teams. I think they're going to keep 5 corners, maybe 6. And if they do keep, 5, you already know 4 with Kendall Fuller, William Jackson III, Benjamin St. Juste, and then Christian Holmes. And then after that, it's like Danny Johnson, Corn Elder. But a lot of those guys, you can probably, they'll clear waivers and you can put them on the practice squad and eventually call them up. So kind of, a nothing signing really, but who knows? I saw some people really excited about it, so I wanted to, kind of talk about it a little bit. Now let's get into the highlights real quick before we end the video. Okay, so those were the highlights. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, not a huge signing at all, but has a chance to maybe make the practice squad. And a lot of those practice squad players end up, being on the active roster at some point in the season. So maybe he'll make an impact. We'll see though. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.